On Ask the Oracle today, we've got the most amazing guest. Our topic for today is stepping up, reclaiming your soul's wisdom in a world that taught you to forget. Our amazing guest is PJ Ashley, CEO and founder of the incredible Pillar Code. From leading high-profile government and defence portfolios to creating a revolutionary healing system now embraced in 39 countries, if not more, PJ Ashley's journey is one of transformation, true wisdom, and rediscovery. So in this episode, what are we going to cover? The true meaning of stepping up beyond the buzzwords, why people feel stuck in a fog and how to break free, the energetic shifts happening across the world right now, how the Pillar Code is lifting people into peace, purpose, and prosperity, PJ's profound connection as a channel for George. This conversation will challenge, inspire, and ignite your understanding of healing, energy, and the powerful awakening unfolding right now. So press play. It's time to step up. How are you, PJ?
I'm wonderful. It's fabulous to be here, Suzy. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on. I'm so excited to delve deep into these questions today. I've seen you in action and I know how amazing you are. So the first topic that I sort of want to touch on is the core journey and transformation. So stepping up, what does it mean and why is it so transformative?
Everything that we do within our journey and that I receive in channel, a lot of it's acronyms. And it makes things fun, but it puts a deeper meaning on when you're trying to translate something that is beyond the English language or beyond our verbal language. So many of the things that we talk about are actually different variations of words. So stepping up is an acronym for us for universal parent. So it is the up, it's our ultimate permission as well. So you've got the play on words there. So it's our ultimate permission to be connected to the universal parent. And the universal parent, depending on your views and beliefs and doctrine and how you've been raised, I look at it as just a love frequency. It doesn't matter what religion, where you're sitting, what your belief systems are, as long as it's sitting with the vibrational frequency of love, then that is the ultimate permission. That is your universal parent. So where we are now to step up, who is giving themselves the ultimate permission to reach their universal parent? And that's where I see stepping up is.
Wow, brilliant. Love it. Your shift from corporate leadership to deep healing, what sparked the creation of the Pillar Code?
Wow. Okay. So I was born gifted or plagued. I'm not sure which with, like
Yeah.
with being able to see beyond the veil as a child. And
Yes.
that got deeper and deeper. And, I that never left me when in a lot of children around that 7 to 11, that starts to disappear as the analytical comes in. And my intuitive sense and my sensory, it just got stronger and stronger until I really was trying to sort of push it aside. So I was living this duality of life, which is the planet is duality. We know we're in a duality of energies and duality of timelines, and we all live, like Monday to Friday, we can be analytical and we go to our desk job, and then on Saturday and Sunday we can be, wow, let's go off and do a tarot course, or let's learn about healing, or let's meditate or something. And so most of the planet, lives that duality of life. But I really tried to squash everything that I could about seeing, hearing, sensing, believing, understanding, knowing. I wanted to fit in, and I wanted to fit in more analytically. And so I, pushed and pushed and pushed. So I've always had a little bit of a background or an interest. I dug off and do a few courses, and I tap into something and go, this is not quite it for me. as I really was part of the defence. My former husband was defence, and we did we spent a lot of postings and years running around with defence, and so I had this two sides to me, and was really working heavily in the corporate space, and I was working in defence industry at the time, and really my intuitive side was just yearning to do more and get out. And the more I tried to squash it, the more it was presenting itself, until I had a literally like a life-changing moment at 8 p.m. on the 24th of January 2012. This incredible love frequency source came in and just literally took over my entire being, my lounge room, my house, and said that, like, we have information to come through, and we're trying to get it through to you, and you are slowing up the process. And from this point forward, we're going to ask your permission. Can we come through as a love frequency that will channel directly through your body, and that you're going to change your world. You're leaving what you're going to be doing, and we're going to create a new modality for the planet, and that you're going to be writing 3 books, and you're going to be training practitioners, and you're going to be dealing in many countries, and Germany will be a part of it. And this is one evening. This is just one evening with somebody there witnessing all this. So that, I thought I was losing my mind, and but that was the beginning of this just incredible journey. And within 18 months, I had given up my corporate world, my corporate income, which was very hard, my corporate life, and the Pillar Code was born from that, and that channel has stayed with me ever since. It's never been a day without it, from that day on in 2012. And true to their word, they've just delivered this brand new universal frequency that is, we say in our terminology, a modality, which is a healing frequency for those going through the change on the planet. And so I've been spent the last 13 years managing that, running the company, and training practitioners in delivering the program, and constantly channel the updated new information almost on a daily basis. So that was my journey. I would say that I didn't have anything to do with it, but I believe we all set this up in a different realm, in a different time, different space, and boy, has it's just been an incredible journey. Not easy, very challenging, but
Yeah.
incredible.
Oh, I relate to that so much. I'm also from the corporate space many years ago, and I was a reluctant psychic medium. And I too had, the two different kind of hats, the two different roles going on. When you explained that incredible experience that you had, it just I could just almost sense that energy coming through, and that love frequency is so high vibrational. And I love
Yes.
too that you said that you continually have these upgrades as well. It's like these kind of, upgrading the computer, the downloads, I've met some of your practitioners, and they're absolutely beautiful, and you can tell that they've done the work as well. So yeah, whatever you're doing, well, I know what you're doing because I've had a tiny teaser and taster of it. It's incredible. So yay. So the
It is.
Pillar Code has reached people in 39 countries. So I love the expansive feel of it too, this kind of this beautiful osmosis and ripple effect that you're consciously creating in the world. So what's the most extraordinary transformation, PJ, that you've ever witnessed, my love?
Oh my goodness. So we have so many different varieties, from businesses to individuals to their partners, children, um, to have a look at transformation. So I'll start with the youngest and sort of go up. Looking at children who are we had one little boy who was suspended more days in his years at school than he ever was able to get to school. And when we met him, he was 6 years old. his parents knew about us, and the family members had been coming to us and said, "Is there anything that you would be able to do?" And we went, "You look, we can never promise anything, but absolutely, look, we would love to help this little boy." The end of this journey, and it's 12 weeks, so it's not a long journey. This boy was on his way to being ostracized. He was hurting kids. He was lashing out. He got to a point where the school just didn't even want to help him because they had given up on him. He was 6.
Oh,
So that boy now was signed off by his pediatrician. His pediatrician and I spoke. The pediatrician said, "If you can do this for him, if you could do this for my books, my wait list, then we won't have challenging children like this ever again." She said, "What you did was an absolute medical miracle, what you've done for this child." The parents were very, very stressed at that point in time. Their marriage stayed together. He had a sibling. She was being impacted. That entire family transformed. And that little boy spoke to the school principal, and the school principal said, "That has gone from one of the most disruptive boy in our school to a normal boy with full of character." That is that's just one. We've had people call us and go, "I'm suicidal." And I've done a lot of work with Lifeline. I was a volunteer for Lifeline for 8 years, and I was on the board for 6 years. And I spoke to this man, and I said, "Do you know how you're going to do this?" And he said, "Yes, I do." And I said, "Do you know when you're going to do this?" And he said, "I'm hoping you'll stop the when." I said, "Okay." So, as long as you've got other guidance and other support, and you've got all you've got medical support and background in psychology as well, absolutely, we'd love to support you and help you. And 12 weeks later, he came up and said, "There is no more when anymore. The when has gone, and
oh,
I've got myself back. I've got my life back, my business back." And he was then on the journey to repairing himself. I've had businesses that will come in and go. The business is on the brink of like stress and chaos and collapse. And I've had a business there were about 20 in their team, and the owner was feeling ostracized from the entire company, her own business, and she felt the manager was like almost having a revolution against her as the owner. And again, "Do you think we can help?" And I said, "As long as you've got all the other support there, absolutely, we can help this organization." So within the second week of doing the program, because we can take businesses through the corporate version of our programs, and the manager resigned just by osmosis. He just decided to resign. We had already identified who was going to take over as manager. That manager stepped up. The business transformed. The income transformed. The owner now is the owner again. And she said, "For the very first time in my life, I actually feel like a CEO, not just the slave to my business." Every staff member in there has had the opportunity to go through our programs. It has helped her staff with addictions, self-harm, anxiety, depression. She's just got a completely new business. I could go on and on. We've had women who have been
yeah.
told they cannot have a baby, that through the program that they've become pregnant and actually have this miracle child. We've had people with diabetes. I'm not allowed to say it, but diabetes 2 is easy, but diabetes 1 is a medical impossibility to change. We've had people change with diabetes 1. We've had people change with all sorts of physical things that they've been booked in for surgeries that they don't need surgeries anymore. And this is not us. We can't say to people, obviously, we would never don't do anything, don't change anything. But this is people coming back to us and going, "Their specialist has said I am no longer required for this. The specialist has said I don't need to be on antidepressants any longer. I don't need to be on anti-anxieties. I don't need that particular surgery." It's just a list. It is a long, long list.
Oh, goosebumps. But yeah, that is just so wonderful. Yeah, I just, yeah, celebrate you, celebrate the pillar code, because that's just magnificent. Love that so much. So let's have a little look at energetic blocks and awakening. You talk about helping people escape that walking dead state. I call it the, autopilot living, the Groundhog Day. How can someone recognize if they're kind of trapped in it, trapped in the matrix? They're just, they're not really even living, they're just existing. What do you think? What do you think about that?
So George, who is the channel, and George is globally enlightened, origin restoring, governing energy. So globally
Beautiful.
enlightened is the teaching of the universe. Origin restoring is the healing of the universe, and governing energy, we only deal in one energy, and that's love. So it's teaching, healing, and communicating through the frequency of love. So that's the channel. So that is George. And so George is the one that is saying that we are here to support people lift up and step up out of that walking dead state. We are mind, body, and soul aligned. And people through this matrix frequency, their antennas are being squashed, their antennas are being disconnected, and the antenna is the frequency. It's like it's the umbilical cord to their universal soul. So people are walking around in a mind and body state, and you can be very highly functioning in the walking dead state because your mind will love it, with ego will take over as manager, and then the body just does what it's told. But when the soul is shifted off to the side and in that walking dead state, it takes with it our purpose, our passion, and our mojo. So if that is shifted off to the side, our mind can remember happiness but not feel it, can understand what the sense of purpose is but never know it, can understand achievement and accomplishment and being enough but never feel it. So it can
Wow.
be in its frequency of mind matters, which is what the matrix is. It's managing the mind. The body is the robotic, automatic pilot that comes through, desperately trying to talk to us, trying to get the soul back in. But the soul is just shifted off to the side with all of the frequency of everything that makes us unique as universally connected spiritual humans. So the walking dead state, where we're in that louche state of frequency of just mind. So with that walking dead, you'll know it because sometimes, like, you can't feel intimacy, you don't want to be passionate, you can't feel joy, nothing makes you happy, never enough is enough. You will always feel like there's more tasks than there's completions. You are literally sitting there in a robotic state, and you feel numb. And a lot of people we speak to, we just go, it's this numb feeling, but you're still functioning. And people know it, that we, from soldiers that we speak to, veterans that we take through, from mothers, from grandparents, business, they sit there and go, oh my God, that's me. And I used to be afraid, like years and years ago, I used to be afraid because I thought, how insulting to say someone's in the walking dead state. But we have all been in it.
Yeah.
We have, all of us, been in it.
Yes.
And if we don't watch ourselves, we could be in it by Sunday. Like, we can dip in and out of it. So it's, I got to the point where going, oh, I've got to start talking about it. And to my surprise, people were coming back to me going, you just explained me. You just described my life. I love my husband, but I just feel blank. I love my wife and my children, but I feel nothing, and I feel frustrated. And so the pillar code is how you get that soul to safely come back in and realign. And the soul is the CEO of your life, the driving force. The mind is the manager. So as a manager, a true manager takes direction from the board of directors, takes direction from the CEO, but doesn't make decisions for the business. What happens in the walking dead state, the mind has taken over the entire organization, and that's where all hell breaks loose, literally.
Yeah.
And so the pillar code is helping people through the change on the planet. How can you get your soul back into the driver's seat and you be the CEO of your own life? And CEO is consciously energized organizer.
Oh, wow. I love all these codes. I've noticed lately, over the last few years, I have a lot of clients coming to me that feel like they're in some kind of brain fog.
Yeah, Fog's a big part of The Walking Dead.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So it seems to be keeping people in this kind of like loop or stuck in cycles of struggle.
Yeah.
Um, so that's part of that Walking Dead state. Yeah.
It is, and everything is coded through. George has come through and has given us a coding matrix. You know, when you see the matrix and the green screen at the back and all the numbers dropping down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I love the
uh,
Matrix. Yeah. Yeah.
those movies are just incredible,
Oh,
and
they are.
it's showing that we are being programmed to stay in the loop. So George has channeled through a coded matrix to know exactly where someone is stuck and trapped, and then where they need to get to. So we can actually see exactly where someone is, like in 2 seconds. Like it's a very, very quick coding system. So the 9 is a when that is going into its shadow side, because as you've got your light consciousness side and your shadow side, and both are playing out very quickly at the moment. In the shadow side, if someone's trapped in their 9 of the shadow side, they can't conclude anything, they can't finish anything, they can't sign off anything. They can't. There's no ending to anything, and it's like Groundhog Day. So this fog will come in and keep them foggy, so they can't conclude. So they're in this cycle of never being able to feel a sense of achievement or feel a sense of enough, and therefore then have the energy to start something again. And there are 9 different versions of fog that we can identify in somebody that will trick them into the illusion of not stepping up to their truest value, their truest side of themselves.
Wow. Yeah. You seem to have this ability to bridge the analytical and the intuitive worlds. So, how do you help kind of skeptics? And often skeptics will come to me when they're desperate. How do you help
Yeah.
skeptics embrace energy healing? I'd love to know how you do that.
Interestingly, look, quite often it's women, and it's women in their 30s, or mainly 30s, 35, sort of 40s and 50s that will come in. And we've done a whole research project on our results on what we do, and we've released the first 100 of our case studies in this research, and we know 84% of those are women coming through. And so women are more open, and we look at, I mean, I'm direct. I mean, I'm corporate. I'm corporate all the way. I sit in blazer, and I'm not your typical, channel medium. I'm very much into the analytical component. And what has come through with the pillar code is we're looking at both hemispheres of the brain. So when you're looking at both hemispheres, it's the analytical and the intuitive. So this is the true AI of what's happening on the light consciousness side. The shadow side is bringing up the technology of AI. So when you're having a look at the analytical side, when you can tap into someone that's got a little bit of an opening of understanding that you do have an intuition to you, you do have an instinct, and your instinct has brought you in here. But most of the people that come to us, it's female led. So a woman will bring her teenagers or her children in. A woman will bring her partners in, or her fathers or her brothers. A woman will bring the business in, and then the male managers or co-owners, males, will follow the female lead. So it's very, very much a female lead who goes with both analytical and intuitive and goes, this feels right. We are very much a business based on referrals. So the analytical is, well, I've seen the change in my partner. I've
Yes.
seen the change in my sister. I've seen the change. And so that's the analytical. And then I speak to them and I literally say, the only thing that you're required to do is show up. Trust the process. It's not a course. You don't need to learn anything.
Oh,
Show
that's good. That's interesting. Yeah.
It is not a course. It is not a course. It's a journey of healing. So the only thing we require our clients to do is show up. And then by 12 weeks, their life has changed. They're guaranteed their life has changed. There's only a few people that, because we don't take everyone through the program. If someone comes in and they're antagonistic or like, prove to me, I've had that. I've had a marketing agency who was doing our marketing, and one of the owners said, "I'll do it, so you prove to me." No, no, I'm sorry, but
No.
you're not a part of this journey. So anyone who does come in, sometimes they are at the end, and occasionally with men, they are suicidal and they'll go, "This is my last chance." It's a lot of pressure to put to someone, but they feel it, they sense it, and
Yeah.
I go, don't think about it. What do you think? I don't say, "What are you thinking?" Because that's their mind.
Yeah.
How do you feel? Just how do you feel about
That's
doing?
so powerful.
And they go, "I feel it's right." Go, "Let's just start."
Yeah. I think, you know, the feeling really underpins it all, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, because the soul is guiding them. If by the time they get to speak to me or one of the practitioners, the soul has guided them there to say, "You're required to do this. Like, we are helping you to step up. We are helping you to actually make your peace with the past, find your purpose in the present, and create your prosperity for your future, because we are seeking that everybody is in their prosperity, because you require this, especially as women. We require this. We require ourselves to be our most prosperous and
Yes.
independent.
That is so powerful. Yeah.
In Australia, the greatest homelessness now
That's
are women
exactly
in their
right.
50s.
Yeah.
So I am not about the impoverished spiritual healer. That
No.
to me is ridiculous.
Well, it's not spiritual.
It's not spiritual. They don't heal themselves and they don't have the capacity to help heal others.
Exactly. I think that's why your work is so, you know, for so many reasons, but yeah, it's so important because that demographic of women that seems to be expanding into homelessness and poverty is just so heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So anything on the planet that's kind of shifting that, turning that around, alchemizing that is just so needed and just so great. It's such great work. So
Well, it's
le-
women that's going to get us out of the situation that we're in now. It's women that's actually part of
yeah,
the shift on the planet.
yeah,
And George speaks very, very clearly. Our World War I was male. It's all led by males and women being left at home, and that was the war of the mind. World War II is the blend of bringing women into World War II, the
yeah.
support and the backup, and working in ammunition factories and really supporting, but it was still the men at the
The
front line.
back seat. Yeah.
And World War II was all about the body, just starting to destroy the body in our agriculture and in our chemicals
Yes.
and poisoning. And so the body started. So the World War I will start to control the mind. World War II will start to control the body and the poisoning of the body. World War III is of the soul, and this is purely led by the women. And so women get us ourselves out of it. Shadow side knows that. Shadow side sees this feminine, but beautiful, not ego feminine, just beautiful feminine energy
Yes.
leading us through this soul, because we are in World War III. And so Shadow's going to want to get all these beautiful women to not show up and not step up and not be in their full element and not show their greatest gifts, because we're not even at our potential of our, like, even little Pinky is
Yes.
showing our potential of what we're doing. And in our light consciousness side, we've already won. Like, the war here on this universal change is won. We've already won it. It's already within the timeline shift. We're just catching up on the timeline, but it's women who lead us through this, and women who respect men and have really, really good, strong alpha men by their side. So I'm, as you can tell, passionate about
I'm all for it. Wow. Yes.
helping women step up.
So good. There's so many incredible visionaries in the world that have predicted, yeah, that it's definitely basically what you've just said there is you know, it's that feminine strength that is that way shower, that leading light, that, you know, the light bearer through this period. So yeah,
Absolutely, we've done our due.
absolutely.
And it's not the man haters. Uh,
No,
it's
quite the
women who
opposite.
understand that it's the strong men that we require at the moment.
Absolutely. Now you channel George, and I love that you explained, you know, what George means. This divine connection, or as you would call it, like this love connection. What kind of wisdom would come through?
So Firstly, as I said, George is linked to love, and it's there to literally help save us on this planet. It is here, George speaks of that Mother Earth has already shifted and has lifted its frequency and its vibration, and it's up for everyone on the planet to make a decision if they're going to step up in that frequency, step up or step out. And there are a lot of people who are stepping out. So
Yeah.
George is explaining there are two timelines. So we have our light consciousness timeline and our shadow consciousness timeline, like the railway tracks. They're side by side. They're in parallel, and it's sped up. It's really in a time
Yes.
loop, and time is speeding up. So imagine that railway track. One is light consciousness, and one is shadow. Then you've got the light, literally like the sun, coming up over the railway lines. So the light is already shining on the light side of the railway track, but the other side, its opposite side, is where the shadow is. And as the sun is getting closer and closer and closer to 12, the shadow, or that railway line, is coming closer and closer together. So the shadow knows it's about to be extinct. It already knows it. There is no stopping it. There's no changing. But what happens as the sun is coming up, the shadow gets darker and darker and darker and deeper
Yeah.
and deeper as it gets closer to the sundial. So what we're looking at, it's a scary time on the planet because people are seeing truths revealed around the planet,
Yeah.
and George is all around the truth. A truth revealed is a truth healed. So it is about lifting truths, but having the resilience and the strength to understand when these truths come up, that you're prepared for it, and it's a good thing. It's something that's there
Yeah.
to help you with your journey to make amends, step up, and be that greatest inspiration for other people. So not to be scared that shadow is lifting. There's so many illusions that are being outed in government and medicine, in our
Yeah.
legal system, in our financial system, in our
Exactly.
research system. Everyone that we've trusted, you'll see truths coming up. And so George is here to say, we are holding you through this. We are helping you to step up, be resilient, so you're not terrified by these truths, because shadow wins if we're in fear. Shadow wins if we're scared. Shadow
Yes.
wins if we've got our nose in the shadow trough, going to every darkness in
It
the
almost feeds off it, doesn't it? You know, the
it really
darkness, it
it you
almost
sh-
feeds off
yep,
fear. Yeah.
it does. It does. That we're batteries for it, and they need to take our energy, and they can only do that if we're in the opposite of love frequency, and that's fear. And it's okay to know some truths, but you've got to know when your frequency is tripped its circuit, because then you're gone. Like, then all of a sudden, then you
Yeah.
doom scrolling, or then you like
Spiraling,
spiraling,
catastrophizing, doom and gloom, it's all
doom and gloom.
over. When
Yeah,
really it's just, yeah, rising to the surface, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And we can't just set and forget once, because we are universal energy. We love our love frequency, but we're in this human form, and we're in such a heavy energy planet
Yeah.
that we can't just set and forget once. Every third day, by the time we get to 3 days, if we haven't contemplated or done breathing exercises or walked or meditated
Oh, how
or
true is
our
that? Yeah.
goals or
Yeah.
looked at a healthy shopping list or looked at our fridge, or like, have we, every 3 days, by the fourth day, we start to get shadowy. So we are the goldfish, and so many people go, oh, I manifested once in the year and that's it, or I've set my life goals 10 years ago and that's it, or I'm choosing this, and they just don't understand how quickly our
It's an
consciousness
ongoing
is
journey. Yeah.
evaded. It is
Absolutely.
it is a journey. Yeah. So it's about understanding that, knowing it's a game,
Yeah.
being a game changer, set your
Yes.
goals, active actioning, master your manifesting, and energize equally, being a game
You're
changer.
speaking my language. Yeah.
And then you take ownership.
Yeah.
And the only way we can do that is with accountability. So
Yes.
we need an accountability buddy, whether that be a partner, a therapist, a practitioner, a coach, a guide, a sister. It doesn't matter who it is. But we are made in the frequency that if we're on our own, we're isolated. So I is isolation, and isolation doesn't win. It doesn't lift. So this is why coming together,
Coming out of the cave. Yeah.
coming out, yeah, coming out of the cave, having an accountability buddy, having
Yeah.
someone who is supporting, pushing your goals, like eager for you to succeed, not be envious or jealous, is the only way we ever do. We cannot do it on our own. We need to be collective. We need to be the beacons of light and match with other beacons of light and be surrounded by another beacon of light, because our light will dim, our light will get tired, and our energy will drop. But if we're surrounded by 3 or 4 other beautiful beacons, they will come in and relight our light. And then we're going to be there for them, and so on. So, um, isolation
Bring it on. Yeah.
is shadow, and
Yes.
the collective consciousness is community. And this is the really the way that we can step it up.
Yeah. Well, our natural state is oneness, unity. Our natural state is love, frequency. Yeah. Oh, so good. So good. What can people do to stay aligned rather than overwhelmed? I know it's kind of, that's a big question, but is there one take home that you can share with our audience today?
So there are 9 pillars that have come through in the pillar code, and pillar 2 is the pillar of love. And every pillar has a mind, body, and soul component. So the mind is love, the body is our cells, our cellular frequency, cellular form, cellular memory, cellular frequency. And the soul component of pillar 2 is joy. Another acronym, journey of yours, joy. The opposite in pillar 2, if we're not in love, we're in fear. If we're not in high vibration in our cells, we're in low cellular frequency, low vibrational frequency, which our immunity drops. We can get coughs and colds. It also comes into our blood work, and so on. If we're not in joy, we're in burden. So when we're in burden, which is the soul shadow of pillar 2, you're saying that you've forgotten the joy. It can be that you're in the mind, and it is a have to. I have to do this. So changing your language, it's not a have to, I choose to.
Yeah.
If
Love
you've
it.
got elderly parents and you've in a burden of, oh gosh, I have to go and, like
Yeah.
take them to the doctors, I have to go and cook their meals, I have to clean the house. Well, you don't have to.
You don't have to do anything.
You could abandon them, but you choose to, right?
That's right.
So it's a choice to change your language. It's a choice, and you've
Powerful.
gifted yourself that ability to choose. So don't be the victim. Change your language is one.
Yes.
If something is a burden, then you've lost your joy within it. Some people go and go, I love yoga. And so I went off and I did this intensive yoga course to be a yoga teacher and a yoga practitioner. And now I don't even do my daily yoga practice because it's become such a burden.
Yeah.
What we do is we get something we love and then we create a burden out of it. So it's
Wow. Yeah.
understanding that, go back to your state of equilibrium or calibration of, where did you enjoy something? Where did you find your joy in
Yes.
something? Did you
Remember the
held your
joy.
love on
Yeah.
something? Because with love and joy, your cellular form, function, and memory will be higher frequency. You'll
Yeah.
be healthier. You'll have more energy to do such thing. But if you're in your burden, you're going to be more in fear, lack of time, lack of money, don't have the ability. Your energy will drop. You will confirm that you don't have the energy to do something or other, and then you'll confirm the state of burden you're in. So it's the light side of pillar 2 or the shadow side of pillar 2. Change your thought, change your language, change the perception you're not a victim, and maintain what is it that you actually enjoy in life. Because when you enjoy it, it's the guiding stepping stone of your guidance to your experiences. If you enjoy it, it's a part of your journey.
Ah, so good, my love. So good. Okay. So it's been absolutely enlightening, brilliant having you on the podcast today. I'd love to pull a card for you from my Water Temple Oracle deck, and
Fabulous.
something I prepared earlier. Um, I actually picked out for you Goddess Minerva, and she's the ancient Roman that became the ancient British goddess of intelligence, of knowledge. She's absolutely amazing. The card is Goddess Minerva, intelligence, I harness my full potential. It's a really beautiful card. You can see her
Beautiful.
third eye, which is so stunning. And the flow words are believe, reframe, and realize. And it's just so perfect. Intelligence is your goddess given strength. Engage your perception, imagination, and brain power to amplify your intention and potential. So I just thought she was so perfect for you because,
Wow.
you have, you know, um, so much intelligence, intuitive intelligence, emotional intelligence, academic intelligence. I just felt she was so appropriate. And
Oh,
I've got here, believe in miracles and manifestation to consciously craft your destiny. Then marvel at the possibilities available to you. Clear cognizance, clear psychic knowing is your goddess superpower. Trust your inner voice to lead you to new opportunities. Believe in yourself, reframe your destiny, realize your wisdom, and be guided to the light of infinite possibility,
ooh,
which feels very pillar code to me.
yes, yes, it absolutely does. Yeah, thank you for that. That's just beautiful.
Thank you, my love. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm so grateful. I know you're a very busy lady. All of PJ's contact details will go in the show notes. She's got a website, thepillarcode.com. She's on Facebook as The Pillar Code. She's on Instagram at The Pillar Code. Really, really easy to find. And we've even got research, the Pillar Code research, and I've got PJ's contact details here. So they're all going to go in the show notes. I highly recommend you look up this incredibly intelligent, intuitive, amazing woman and the Pillar Code.